Well, repair time for combine. I noticed I had a chain jump and that slat's running just a little crooked. It jumped a tooth, and it's done it before, and it's the bearing at the top. The seal's out of it. It's still turning smooth, but it needs fixed. It needs replaced. I'm gonna have to pull the feeder house out of here in order to get to that bearing. Fun. Start cleaning things up, but it's mud season at the so I'm not in the field anyway, so might as well get this fixed while I can, so that when things dry out, I can get back at it. Well, gotten all the crud blown off, and all this belt's loosened up. Hydraulic lines are loosened up. I gotta disconnect these lines that drive the header reverser, but I'll do that once I pull it back in the barn. Let's see. Had to take the drive clutch, or the feeder house drive clutch off in order for it to clear that bar right there. Get by here. But just disconnecting the lift cylinders and the hydraulics, and should be able to pick it off with a forklift. That didn't take long, about an hour, I guess. Get her in the barn so we can get her done. Okay, give you an idea how the magic happens. Now you can see here, this chain brings it all to the top. Somehow or another, that one jumped a tooth and got crooked, probably because of that bearing. But all that does is just bring all the crop up to the top. This is called the beater here. It's beating a couple of rocks in its time. Oh man, she's starting to wear through right there. Ain't good. Always something. Well, anyways, this part down in here is what's called a stone trap. And if a rock is in there, it's heavy enough, it'll hit this beater and it kicks it down into the stone trap where it can't get grabbed anymore. And then every so often you clean the stone trap out to make sure it doesn't grab them and throw them on the rest of the way in. Yeah, that's the thin spots there. Oh, great. To figure out something to do there, especially while it's I got this feeder house out. It sure ain't gonna get any easier. Well, battery's getting low, but that's what she looks like without the feeder house on. Now the seal had come out, but the bearing itself, of course, it's dry. It hadn't failed, but it was only a matter of time before it either failed or started a fire. Being dry like that, excuse me, throat's dry too. So got to get that out of there. Dealer's got a couple on hand, so run over there in the morning and grab a couple of them and get her back together tomorrow, and probably still beat the mud, or it'll still be muddy. Okay, well, I took the end plate off this side, made getting the bearing out easier. Shaft's fine. Actually, the bearing was still turning freely, but the seal was gone. There was no lube in it, so it was only a matter of time before it did fail. Glad I caught it when I did. And as long as I got her apart, I'm not changing just one side for what it takes to pull this out, so I'll put both bearings in. The other side turned smooth, seals were in, felt really good, but like I say, for the cost of, I don't know, $40, $50 bearing, it's worth it. I also got my chain realigned now, so just gotta do a parts run, get things put back together, and she can run some corn. Finish things up. I got my new bearings, got things back together. New bearing in there. Retention chain, feeder house chain, adjusted the tension on that. I think that's why it skipped a chain. Our link here was, it was getting pretty loose. Really need to be readjusted. Should be good now. New bearing on this side. They ended up being $70 a piece through Agco, but they had them in stock, and I know they're the right thing, so that's worth some value right there. I got a new feeder house drive belt that also drives the head, as long as I'm this close. Had the belt on hand for a while, but the other ones, I got some cracks, and ain't gonna get any easier than this to switch it out, so gonna do that and a couple other things, and then I can stuff that feeder house back in the combine. All right, ready to go back together. Bolted in a piece of angle iron here to cover up that spot where it's getting worn thin. A couple little holes there. Hopefully that takes care of the problem. To keep an eye on it, I can inspect it by opening the stone trap down here and checking on it. Got my new header drive belt in place. Everything else seems to be in order. It's just a matter of driving her in here. Well, all back together. Time to fire it up and see if everything goes round and around. Everything was going round and round before. Got the brand new belt on. The But that bearing with the seal being out, it was only a matter of time before the bearing itself failed. So at least it's going to work this much. Guess the true test will be out in the cornfield. Get that corn head back on. I'm going to dry some corn. Been a good year on YouTube. Farming's been a little bit of a challenge, but making these videos has been fun. So I appreciate all the comments and the likes and the subscribers and just everything you guys have done for me. So thanks again.